So we can't have anarchy in the country, first and foremost. So even as people exercise their rights, it should be within limits and within bounds, such that we cannot allow us to exercise our rights to the extent of tearing apart the country. So
the chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, Charles Kahariri, has warned that the country is slowly sliding into a state of lawlessness. His comments come at a tense moment when nationwide protests led by the Gen Z youth have rocked the country in recent weeks. The protests, sparked by public frustration with the government, have seen widespread destruction of property, clashes with the police, and an increase in anti-government chants. The youth, especially those identified as Gen Z, have been at the forefront of these demonstrations. Many of them have been calling for President William Ruto to step down, accusing him of failing to address key issues such as the high cost of living, corruption, and police brutality. General Kahariri said that while Kenyans have a constitutional right to express themselves and hold peaceful demonstrations, this should not translate into chaos or violence. According to him, the ongoing unrest and damage of public and private property is a dangerous path for the country and could lead to even more instability if not managed carefully.
And by the way, the military, one of the core values is that we are apolitical. We don't support any political side. We defend the Constitution and the government of the day, duly elected by the people.
He also reminded Kenyans that President William Ruto was elected through a democratic process and any attempt to remove him from office must follow the law. He cautioned against using slogans like "Ruto must go" to stir up public disorder or promote rebellion. The general said that despite the political temperatures rising, the military will remain neutral and will not take sides in any political battles. The Kenya Defence Forces, he stressed, are apolitical and loyal to the constitution, not to any individual leader or party.
So wakati watu wanaamua kwamba tumechoka na hii serikali na mulichagua wenyewe, alafu mnasema must go. That must go must be done according to the constitution. Si ni kweli? Yeah, so that's why people question.
Kahariri's remarks come just days before fresh protests are expected to erupt following the killing of OJWANG, an influencer who died under unclear circumstances. OJWANG's death has triggered outrage, especially among young people. Plans are underway for another round of demonstrations to demand justice for him, and organizers have announced a major protest is scheduled for next week. This warning from the military signals growing concern among state institutions about the direction the country is taking. The police have also expressed worry about the increasingly involvement of armed groups in the protests, saying that some individuals have taken advantage of the situation to loot and vandalize property. In some instances, groups believed to be militia or hired goons have been spotted alongside law enforcement officers, raising serious questions about the neutrality of the police.
We never included in our operations the areas where we were supposed to be assisted by persons called goons, knowing that in Kenya also goons or vigilantism is all outlawed. So as a procedure, that's commotion, and also to know who are these goons and who are their sponsors.
The protest wave have largely been peaceful at the beginnings, but tensions have escalated in recent days. Social media has played a key role in mobilizing demonstrators, with platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram flooded with posts from young Kenyans sharing their anger and frustrations with the current leadership. Ruto, who came to power promising a bottom-up economic transformation, has faced growing resistance from the youth who feel left behind and unheard. The high cost of living, rising taxes, and frequent reports of government wastage and corruption have only added fuel to the fire. Many Gen Zs argue that their future is being sold off and that their voices are being ignored in matters of national importance.
And I am committed 100% to the transformation of this nation. And I want to persuade you as my team, the Government of Kenya team, for us to know that there is no two ways about this. It has to be done.
For now, the government appears to be stuck between trying to calm the situation and holding its ground. While some leaders have called for dialogue and reconciliation, others have accused the protesters of being unruly and misguided. The president himself has been silent on some of the most recent developments, even as criticism against him continues to grow. The coming weeks will be critical, with the planned demonstrations in memory of Albert OJWANG expected to attract thousands. The country could be headed for another showdown between the state and increasingly angered population. What is clear is that the youth are not backing down, and the demands for accountability, justice and real leadership are just growing louder.
That must be done according to the constitution. Si ni kweli? Yeah, so that's why people question kwa nini military inakuwa deployed. We have a responsibility. We took an oath to defend the constitution, to defend the republic, and that's why it is necessary that the security institutions are professional.
As the military stays on high alert and the police brace for more unrest, all eyes will be on how the government handles the next wave of protests and whether the message being sent from the streets will finally be heard in State House and with President William Ruto.
We love our country first. We will soon have no country, and there's no spare. Not the way you carry a spare wheel in the boot of your car. Hakuna. So we can't have anarchy in the country, first and foremost. So even as people exercise their rights, it should be within limits and within bounds, such that we cannot allow us to exercise our rights to the extent of tearing apart the country. So this issue of how politics goes and all that, and by the way, the military, one of the core values is that we are apolitical. We don't support any political